Hello everyone, Shane Olsen here. I know it's been a while. It's been quite a while. I've been taking a little break. I decided to try and stream on my own channels just to kind of see if it would work or not. So if you are watching, please give me a shout out to know it's working and if the volume is good. This is kind of a split screen. I'm working in Nomad Sculpt, which I like to work vertically, so I didn't know how to lay this out very well. But hey, what's up, you Bubbles? How you doing, man? How are you doing? Okay. Nice, nice. Thanks, Cosmic. The screen is black? Really? Weird. Screen is black on Twitch. Wonder why. Hey, Chris. Hey, Blackline. How you guys doing? It's weird because I'm streaming, like, I have this vertical stream thing too in OBS because I eventually want to stream to like TikTok and Instagram too. And it has like this vertical stuff. Hey, Sheswada, how you doing, man? Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. I've been live streaming every Monday for the last 6 years. So it's been kind of a while. I took a little break. I've been enjoying Nomad. I've been enjoying ZBrush on the iPad. This is my iPad. I'm actually on a you can see that's wireless. It's just this is called a Sketchboard Pro that I'm using. I'm just leaning it up against my desk at a 45 so my back doesn't get hurt. Is anybody else watching over on Twitch? Can you see a video at all, or you can just hear me? I'm just wondering if it's just you, Cosmic. Cosmic, I'm not sure. Huh, that's pretty crazy. Discord did announce it. Awesome. Awesome. Well, it looks like we got some people filing in. We got 4 people watching on I'm streaming to 5 different places. I've never streamed to LinkedIn before. I was trying that. Rupee, you only have audio. What is going on with Twitch? Okay, I'll have to figure that out for next time. I apologize. I am streaming over on YouTube. If you can hear me, just go search for 3D Character Workshop on YouTube and you can find it. Okay, that's really strange. I wonder what is happening with that. Okay. I'm going to view it on Twitch just to see. Yeah, really strange. Okay, but thank you guys for letting me know. It's been a while since I've streamed on Twitch. I don't know why it's black. That's pretty crazy. Okay, well, Twitch, since there's no video, I'm just going to shut it off for now. And so I hope to see you two over on YouTube or Facebook or something like that. So thank you for watching over on Twitch. Okay. So I turned Twitch off for a second. Okay. So this is just a character that I've been working on. And this is Nomad Sculpt, if you're wondering. This is just hey, what's up, David? How are you doing? It's been a while, buddy. How's it going? Anyway, I've just been enjoying this program because it's very easy to use. You can render while you sculpt, which is cool. And I've just gotten into it quite a bit. I like it a lot. So, and that's not to say I don't like ZBrush. It's not really a competition. So hey Neil, you'll just disconnect your Discord stream. Are you talking about like over on Discord? Were you watching through Discord? It's kind of weird. Okay, so let's see. What should we build here while we're doing this? Let's build this little. I kind of want to start to build the stuff on his back. Just this stuff right here, and just kind of show you a little bit of how Nomad works. I could build these flowers and butterfly, all these little bits. It'll be interesting to see, to try and figure out this radio. I think that's the most complicated thing. I was the hat was quite complex, but I was able to figure that out. And then of course, the shell was pretty crazy. So, okay. Still trying to see how many people. I got 19 on YouTube. It's good. Oh, okay. Oh, I see, Neil. So you were actually streaming in Discord on your own. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So let's make this orange bottle really quick. So Nomad has this lathe tool that's pretty sweet. See this lathe tool? I can click it and it gives me this line. And then I can just start drawing on one side of the line and it will lathe it out like that. But I'm going to switch over to path. Hey, Lucia from Argentina, welcome. Hi from Alaska, nice. I've never been to Alaska. I'm going to kind of zoom him over here so we can kind of see what's going on. Get the shape of that bottle. Now, the difference between a curve and a path is a path, it's a little slower, and you can actually make the little dots like this. And what I like to do is kind of put the dot at the top, put the other one at the bottom, and then add some that come out like this. And I can add one down here like this. Now, there's two different types of dots. There's a curve one and a sharp one. So if you tap on any of these dots, it goes sharp like this. There we go. And it turns black like that. So we have a sharp dot. So if you see this little bottom of the little bottle down here, we're going to make it narrow later. But for now, we're just going to make this bottom piece. Let's make it sharp. Make this sharp. And coming up, we'll make this one round. Make this one round. And then and we can hit this green dot anytime and it will automatically make it a shape like this. And now what I can do, I'm making it quite huge, but and now what I can do is I can edit it while I can see the shape, which is really cool. Hey, what's up, George? How are you doing? Hey, Ethan from Jamaica. Welcome. Okay. Still no one's watching over on LinkedIn. Neil, would you mind hopping over to LinkedIn and seeing if you can tell if I'm streaming or not? I think you can just search my name and hopefully it'll come up. Okay. Or if anybody else wants to go over there just to check it out. I'm streaming multiple places, so I'm just kind of trying it out here. Okay. So with this little lid topper here, I just wanted to get all the dots in place, and you can see that it's hollow. It's really fun to do lathes. Just gonna bring this in. It's almost like using a pottery wheel. It's fun. David, I don't think I'm gonna make it to Lightbox this year. Hey, what's up, Max? Welcome. I wish I was, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to make it. It's all right. Hopefully next year. I kind of wish these were Bezier curves so I can kind of pull out the handles and move them around. Shatterbrains, this is Nomad Sculpt. And it's coming to desktop hopefully sometime this year, which is great. Okay, so now that I have the shape like this, I can validate it. So once you validate it, it's no longer editable. So you can't edit these little dots anymore. So you can see across the top, there's these different options here. I'm just going to validate it right there. Okay, because it's narrower than it is wide. So I want to keep the cork topper and the bottom round, but I want to take the middle and squish it. So let me see the face groups on here. Okay, so it looks like we have, this is the geometry that it gave us. And I want to try and create, hey, what's up, Matt? I want to try and create some face groups here. There's face group by normal right here, which is what I like. I'm going to hit that and see what kind of face groups it gives me, which is exactly what I want. Okay. So now I can use this to quad remesh it. It's similar to Z Remesher over on ZBrush, but it's yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. It's the same guy that wrote the algorithm. So I'm gonna click on solo just so we don't see that little turtle anymore. Okay, so now what we can do is we can click mask. You can see mask over here, down here. We can click on that and we can just tap on a face group, I think. Oh, on tap. You gotta have this button. See this button right here? That's gotta be on. And then if I tap it, it will select the face group that I want. I'm gonna trip up my words. Hey, what's up, Jazzy? Thanks, man. Yeah, I just didn't know how this was gonna go on my own channel, just to try and see. Hey, Muhammad. Yeah, my pleasure. Okay, see this invert button right here? That just inverts the mask. I can click on that and it inverts it. And then I can turn on the gizmo, which is down here. That'll give me a gizmo. It puts it right in the middle. And then these little dots, this is non-uniform scale. So I can click on this dot, just kind of scale it down. And now we have our shape. And it's not quite super round, like as round as I want. And it's kind of squeezing this down up here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the right. Let's see. No. I'm just going to get my camera kind of like this. And I want to mask this top off so I don't accidentally squeeze it. I don't want to squeeze it in. Oh, thanks, Shadowbrains. No, Dalton. The audio was working, but the visual was not, and I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know. It was just black for some reason. So I'm gonna have to try it and see why it was doing that. What's up, Mark? Yes, yes, yes. I'm here. Okay, I'm gonna turn perspective off, and then I'm gonna switch to mask select or select mask like this. Okay, and then I can use lasso, go from one side to the other. That's not what I want. Let's see. I'm trying to, I just want to grow this mask into the bottle itself. You kept refreshing thinking your internet wasn't working. Hey, Robert, how's it going? Stealing your lazy boy? Nice. It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. It's been a while. Let's see. I don't think there's a grow option, actually. That's interesting. I'm going to try inverting it and blurring it, but I think that's going to blur it up the... Yeah, that's okay. That's going to shrink the whole thing. That's not what I want. Now, I can grab this thing, grab the gizmo. I'm going to clear the mask for a second, because you'll notice that it's not oriented directly with the world. So what you can do is you can click on this gizmo and you can go to these options, and there's actually numbers in here like in Maya or something like that. So I can kind of zero this out. Might take me a minute. Go 0, 0, 0. Okay. So that set it to the middle, or the middle of the world. So if I turn on the grid, you can see it's kind of set. Now I can reset the rotation. So 0, hopefully it's going to reset it correctly. And 0. Not quite what I wanted, maybe? Yeah, it is. Okay, just got to click on front like that. Okay, so that's pretty nice that you can reset it. Okay, there's the back, there's the front. What's really cool about Nomad is you can lock the view. Like, you can lock the rotation of the view. So if I click and hold this little scene thing down here, that will lock the rotation. So I can scale and I can pan, but I can no longer rotate. So it locks it down. And what's nice about that is I can now go back to my select mask. I'm going to switch over to rectangle, and then I can grab a box. Oh, I don't want a square. I want a rectangle. Turn the square off. Okay, like that. And then I can do it again down here. That way I know it's shooting through the object exactly how I want it to. And now I can blur it. So blur, blur, blur up top here. Okay, and then we can invert it. Now when I scale it, let's go left, right with the gizmo. There we go. Now I'm not accidentally cutting into the cap and the bottom. Hopefully that makes sense. But the shape of this is still kind of warbly, so I'm going to go to my smooth brush, make it really big, and then turn the intensity down. I don't want it that intense, and then just kind of smooth it out. And then there's a relax option, which will kind of relax the geometry around the surface. I'm going to click on that, and that takes a little more intensity, so I'm going to turn that up. Do the same thing, just kind of relax it and make it more round. Is it weird having my head this giant? Usually I'm like down in the corner. Like when I stream ZBrush, I'm down in the corner. But with this, I'm huge. You can see my blurry sculpts better. Hey Hisham. Hello, welcome. You're watching over on Facebook. That's cool. Hey Lavender. So Neil, are you still around? I'm just wondering if you were able to go hop over on LinkedIn. I don't know if that's working over there. The Twitch, yeah, Lavender, the Twitch one was only the audio was working for some reason. So it wasn't quite what I wanted. I need to figure that out. Okay, so now with this mask, I can clear it. And then, let's see, that top is a little big, but that's okay. Oh, Hitchum, you are watching over on LinkedIn. Awesome. It's a blue logo, so I thought it was Facebook, but that's great. I'm glad you can watch it. Okay, sweet. How's the quality over there on LinkedIn? Hopefully it's good. Okay, I'm going to undo that and then invert. And then I want to mask the bottom off like this. And then I just want to shrink this cap down. Okay, and you'll notice that it automatically puts the gizmo in the middle of my unmasked area, which is nice. But if I want to move that gizmo down, I can by clicking on this lock. See this little lock right here? I can just unlock it, drag it down, lock it back up. Now it's down there. You sent me a connection request. Awesome. There does seem to be a slight audio delay on YouTube, fraction of a second. It's crazy because Twitch is typically the best with audio lag, and YouTube is second because like sometimes YouTube will lag up to like 20 seconds, some absurd amount. But I found that there's like a nice a nice level of there's like 3 different things you can choose from as far as lag goes, like higher quality, less or more, but more lag, and I'm like in the middle. All right, Dave, thanks for hanging out, man. Okay, so now this outer ring right here, this orange ring, that's scale all. So I can grab this and just kind of scale this capper down. And it's a little tall, so I'm gonna squeeze it down like this. Okay. And I do have wireframe turned on. I can turn that off. We can clear the mask now. And now I want to paint it this orange color. And if you have this orange or this paintbrush selected right here, you can click with your finger and hold it on the background. And there's a little dot, I don't know if you can see it, right above my finger. There's this tiny little dot, and that is the eyedropper. So whatever that dot is over, it will eyedrop that color. Okay, so I don't want it this shiny. So I'm going to click on this little sphere. It's like a preview, like a material preview. And there's roughness setting like this. I can make it more rough so it looks like it's made of clay. And this is right in the viewport. So this is kind of like Eevee in Blender, where it's a real-time renderer. Okay, so you can see the HDR image reflected in it if you want it super shiny, or I can make it super matte if I want to. So I don't want to go maybe like that. And then there's metalness, of course, if you want to make it look metal. There's actually opacity if you want to make it kind of look transparent. And then you can adjust the color down below. I already miss not having different colored names like on Twitch. Makes it easier to pick out where you left off in chat. Oh yeah. I'm also wondering if I should show, like, here's my chat. See, and it shows like all the different colors. So this is somebody on YouTube, this is somebody on LinkedIn. And so you can kind of see what everybody's saying and what. So I might put that in the feed, like in the video, so you guys can see what people are saying. Sometimes I don't want to, because sometimes people are jerks and they say stupid stuff, but yeah, interesting. Oh, it says LinkedIn is not public. So I guess it's only people that are following me or something. I'll have to look into that too. I might have to make a LinkedIn like page or something. Okay. So yeah, Ian, I've done that before with chat. You can do it through Restream, and you can put it like, anyway, yeah, you can get it to show up. Right. It's pretty fun. Okay, so then you hit Paint All, which is right here, and then it just fills it with that color like this. Okay, now I want to make a stopper on the top, a little cork stopper. So in order to do that, I'm just going to, I'm going to actually grab an insert brush and then grab a cylinder and then just kind of insert the cylinder right here. And then it gives us these little controls. So we have, this is scale, so it's really easy to make this cork stopper. So this is like an overall scale right here. And then this is the top and this is the bottom. So I can make it kind of shaped corky. Okay, when you're all done, you just hit validate, this little green button right here. Because it's not really sculptable until you hit validate. I'm going to show you a trick. This is being, this has smooth shading turned on. So kind of like in Maya or Blender, you can turn smooth shading on like this. So if I turn it off, these edges get really crispy and I can see all of the facets in here. Okay, so if you turn it on, it will kind of smooth that out and look like this. I dove headfirst into streaming, have been a lot of fun adding extra things. Yeah, I need to talk to you about that, Ian. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so I want to actually make it look like this without smooth shading turned on. So I'm going to turn smooth shading off, and I'm going to show you a little trick. So if I turn on wireframe, you can see what the cylinder actually looks like. And it has a really crispy edge like this. Okay, so if you have Nomad on iPad, there's an option to purchase Quad Remesher, and it's made by the same guy who makes the Blender add-on, the Quad Remesher Blender add-on. I think there's a standalone version, and it's also like the Z Remesher in ZBrush. It's all the same guy. It's all the same code that does it. So, but it's an extra purchase in Nomad. I think it's like 12 bucks or something. So, but you can't, unfortunately, you can't get it on Android. But you can find it right down here, Quad Remesher. And you can see what this looks like. And I'm going to take this, and you'll see these buttons up here. There's a 100%, which means it will remesh it at the exact same resolution that it is already. and this one will take it down by half, and this one will be if you want to set it to a certain number. And then you can turn on keep face groups, and I like to turn off relax if it's a hard surface object like this, and then you can turn on or off symmetry if you want. So I'm going to half this and see how fast that was. I'm going to click it one more time, and it just reduces it until it's like this. Okay, so that's super low. It did shrink it a little bit, but I'm going to grab this gizmo and scale it up. Whoop, like this. And pop it down in there a little bit more. And then what I can do is I can subdivide it at this point. So I don't know if that got rid of the color. It looks like it did. I'm going to paint it again. Oh, I didn't fill it with a color. That's right. So I'm gonna actually eyedrop sample the color off this cork, and I'm using my finger, not the pen. Okay, so I'm gonna move my finger on this background. Let's see. Maybe it's. Come on, sample. There it goes. You have to kind of click and hold it, and I want that color right there, and then I will fill it. Okay, now if your scene isn't this bright, if it looks kind of dark or feels kind of dark, what you can do is you can go to this little sunshine icon up here at the top. You guys can see that. Okay, and this is your HDR image, and you can change them by clicking on it. You can kind of change through here, and it will change the whole look of the environment. And you can get these from like HDR Haven or something like that. You can find them around the internet. But I like this one. This one's kind of cool. This one's good. Has a little kind of a bluish hue to it. This one's more even. Okay, and then you can see this exposure down here. You can crank that exposure up and down to increase or decrease how much light is affecting your scene. So, and that will change the color too. Okay, so this cool thing. Also, I need to point out that this is beta. I'm showing you the beta that's coming soon. This is 1.91. It's not quite out yet. But one thing that Stefan added in the beta was the ability to do multi-res. Well, multi-res has been in there, but it's really cool. You can click this sharp border right here, and that will sharpen all the borders of your face groups. So if we look back here at face groups, you can see that this cork has a face group on the top and a face group on the side. Okay, so when we subdivide this, see how it's really low? We subdivide this. I have the sharp border turned on, and I hit subdivide. It will subdivide it and hang on to that sharp border. So that's one, and you can see there's like this little face icon. It's really teeny. You might not be able to see it, but that just signifies that the face group has been kept. And I can hit it one more time. Okay, so now it's held on to that sharpness, 2 subdivision levels. Now I'm going to turn it off. So I'm going to turn off sharp border, subdivide it again. What that does, if I turn off this wireframe and I turn off face groups, you can see that it's starting to create this nice beveled edge, this nice curve around this edge right here. So I'm going to subdivide it one more time to make it even cleaner. And you'll see that that's nice and clean. Hi, Aiden. Is that how you say your name? Welcome. I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for joining me today. Okay. It's been a while, right? I took a little break. Like I said, I've been streaming every Monday for 6 years on the Pixelogic/Maxon channel. That was a long time, so I decided to take a little break. But now I want to stream more other programs, not just ZBrush, but other programs like Nomad, and show you other ones that are available that you can play with. Okay, it's weird. It made this little edge right here. And I wonder if I think I have post-processing turned on. Maybe not. Yes, I do. Okay. So this post-processing, it does have post-processing in here. And you can you can add kind of this dark outline to it. There's ambient occlusion, depth of field, bloom, but there's this curvature one where you can adjust this cavity right here, and it'll put like this dark outline around everything and through everything. So I'm going to turn post-processing off for now, just so you can see it better like this. And with this shell, let's look at the wireframe again and solo it. Okay, let me hide this cylinder here, just so I want to look down. See how it's got these triangles? I'm going to Z-remesh this bottle with the polygroups that it has. I say polygroups, face groups. I'm going to have to get past some of the verbiage that comes from ZBrush. So, okay. So quad remesher, I'm going to keep the face groups on, turn relax off, and half this, and we'll get some quads like this. You can see now that, oh goodness, that is not attractive, is it? Let me turn on smooth and kind of try to smooth this out down here. See if I can get that looking any better when I quad remesh it again. There it goes. Better. Okay. Much better. Now it's still all quads, which means that I can now subdivide this. So this is a pretty good looking surface. And I'll go back to my multi-res. I'll click on sharp border again, subdivide it twice, let go of sharp border, subdivide 2 more times. And now we have this really clean mesh with these, with a clean little bevel on the top and bottom like this. And it kept the color, it didn't get rid of the color. Hey Mark, how are you doing? Welcome. We got, let's see, 32 viewers on YouTube. So I'm streaming to both of my YouTube channels. I actually have one that's called Shane Olson's 3D Character Workshop. That has 30. I'm streaming to LinkedIn, which it doesn't say how many are watching on LinkedIn. And then I'm streaming to my namesake channel. 8 people are over there. And then I'm streaming to Facebook, my just personal Facebook channel, and 1 person's watching there, it says. And Twitch is not working today. So I feel like I'd have most of the people watching on Twitch, but it was audio only for some reason. So that is what it is. Okay. So now that I have this, I can unhide or turn solo off. I can see my turtle, and I can see that this this kind of tube thing is gigantic. So I'm going to unhide the cork. And what's cool about Nomad is you can do hierarchy stuff. So what I mean by that is I want to parent the cork to the bottle in a hierarchical way, like child-parent relationship. And if you go to this this icon right up here, you can see everything in your scene right there. So let's rename this. Let's just rename this bottle. Is there more than one bottle? I can't remember. Bottle 1 is that. Okay. And then if I click on this, you'll see the mesh flash when I tap on these. You can tap on it out in the scene, or you can tap on it in this list. So now I can see that it's the cylinder that I need to rename. Okay, so I'm going to call this bottle 1 cork. Okay. So now what I can do is, using my finger, I can click and hold this, and you'll see that it has this little like child-parent relationship. I can let go, and now the cork is a child of the bottle. So now I can select the bottle and then grab the gizmo, and when I move it around, the cork goes with it. And when I scale it, the cork goes with it. Okay, so now I can move this up to where it needs to be. How would you recommend learning Blender for stylized characters like you make? And also, how do you find these concept artists? Like, do you use any specific website and search for something related? No, this is, I'm trying to remember if this, I think this is Alexander Kaida or Shafi Ahi. I'm trying to remember. I wasn't planning on streaming this, so usually I have the artist's name underneath the concept. But I'll find them on Facebook. I'll find them on Pinterest, LinkedIn, ZBrush, not Blender. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what program you use. This is Nomad Sculpt. So this is a little app on your iPad that you can get. It's like 19 bucks. And yeah, I really enjoy it. And that's not to say I don't like ZBrush. It's just different. I like it a lot. It's just fun. Not that ZBrush isn't fun, but I'm gravitating towards Nomad a little bit because I can render while I sculpt. That's the biggest thing. And then it has some really nice tube tools and other things like that. And I'll pop back and forth between Nomad and ZBrush and Blender. I like to render in Blender. But to answer your question, Aiden, I have a course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop, and I teach exactly this. So if you want to check it out, it's 3dcharacterworkshop.com. It might be in the description. Thanks, Neil. There you go. Shafi Ahi. Hey, you were able to post a link in there. That's great. It's good to know. Okay. Yes, Neil is here. Okay, so there's that bottle done. Now it looks like there's not another bottle. So there's a little sack. There's a little flower with a pot. There's another flower down here. And there's this bedroll. I'm trying to think of what I want to make first. Or next, I should say. Okay. And how's the lag and everything and the sound? Everything working okay? Because this is kind of a test, but I decided just to go stream. I wonder if I turn Twitch on, if it'll work now. Probably not. It says offline still. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Sending data. It might start up. Streaming. Let me view it on Twitch. I bet it's still black, but I don't know. Yes. Okay, well, I got to figure that out. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, I'm turning it back off. Hopefully nobody was like, oh, he's streaming. And then it's nothing. Okay. I'm going to turn on smooth shading again, so it'll smooth this out. Now, I made these with the tube tool. This border around the shell, you can see that, and that's why the connection point in the middle is still kind of broken. If I want to, eventually I will combine these together and validate it and merge them, weld them, and smooth that out so there's not a break right there. I could see stuff on the VOD and Twitch. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it's just streaming blackness. I don't know why. And the arm is a tube. The leg was a tube till I validated it. The body was a tube until I made it. Yeah, I really love that tube tool. It's pretty sweet. I don't have a mini course on Nomad Sculpt yet. I was actually thinking about making some courses with Nomad. Kind of like I was just talking to my students about this earlier today. Like those old how to draw books, you know, like how to draw a turtle, but do it in Nomad, you know. But let me just show you the tube tool because it's really fun. Like say if I wanted to make this handle of this radio, how would I make it, right? So essentially, you just go to the tube tool right here. Okay. And it kind of works like the lathe tool that I used earlier. So you can click on curve and you can just draw a curve and it'll make a tube like this. Or you can click on path, which is what I like because you can be in more control. And then I'm going to go to the front view. Okay. And then I'm going to lock it down. You can just click and hold on this this navigation sphere down here. On yours, it might be on the top left. you can go into this icon or in this one, and you can adjust things and move things around a little bit and change the color of the user interface. And there's a few adjustments that I've done. I like it down on the bottom left corner because that's where my thumb is on my left hand. I'm right-handed. So, and then it's out of my way and it's down there, and I can hit it with my thumb. Okay, so but that lock makes it so I cannot rotate the scene. I can only scale and move it around. So this tube tool will snap to the background. Let's see. Hold on a second. I got to turn on the grid. If the grid is turned on, it'll snap to the grid points. Okay, so I can just move this like this. And then we turn on solo to get rid of, well, so what happens with the tube tool is whatever object you have selected, it will put a child tube underneath, or whatever object you decide to add, it's going to make it a child of whatever you have selected. So if I look at this, you can see there's the body, and the tube tool is underneath this mirrored object, or this mirror. It's called a repeater. So the tube is, oh, this is this tube. Let me see what this other tube is. It's under here. That's the arm. I'm trying to see. Maybe it's not listed yet because I haven't validated it. So we'll see what happens when I actually make it a tube. Okay, so I'm going to move this down here, move this up here, and hit go. Okay, let's see where it's at. There, it just added a new tube at the bottom of this list, underneath the body, underneath the mirror repeater. Okay, that's why it's being mirrored. So the mirrored repeaters inside of Nomad are kind of like the, what are they called in Blender? The modifiers. Like the modifiers in Blender, you know how you can add a modifier? Yeah, the two, or the, if you go add right here, you can see there's 4 different types of repeaters. There's an array, a curve, radial, and mirror. So that just basically is repeating it to the other side. Okay, so if you think about it that way. Now, this tube is round, right? Let me see if I can solo this now. There we go. Okay, I'm going to solo just half of it, unlock the scene so I can rotate it. And now we have this tube, and it's not quite, it doesn't quite look like the handle of this radio. It's round, right? So there's a couple things you can mess around with up here. You can make it closed, which is going to make a circle or a donut or whatever. You can take the caps off, so it's just a hollow tube. It doesn't have any thickness now, it's just single-sided. Or you can put a hole through it like this and actually make it a pipe, which is awesome. And then you can change the radius. So right now, you can see it has these 3 little orange dots. Might be hard to see, but right now there's this little orange, put the caps back on, this little orange dot at the beginning. If I grab that, it's going to change the circumference of it all the way through. Now if I click it again, it's going to add another orange dot at the other end, and now I can have a taper. So I can make horns and things like that, right? And if I click it one more time, it's going to add a dot at every single point. So I can go from thick to thin to thick again. So you can kind of see the power behind that. But for this, we only need a single radius, so I'm going to turn those other 2 off. And I'm not going to twist it. I don't need it to twist. But if you want to twist it along its center axis, you can use this twist. But what I'm interested in is the profile right here. Kind of looks like an I-beam. So it's really sweet. Your sound is up. Try reloading YouTube. And which channel are you watching? Are you watching the Shane Olson YouTube channel or the 3D Character Workshop channel? Because I need to tune, make sure my voice is lined up. I need to tune it a little bit. Okay, I'm streaming to 2 different YouTube channels right now. I don't know which one is better as far as that goes. I don't know if you set that up on the on YouTube side or on the OBS side? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to click on this profile, and it's going to give me this square like this. Okay. Now you can see it made a square. Now it's no longer a circular tube, it's a square tube. Okay, which is pretty sweet. And I want to make this profile, right? So, oh, is that where you do it, Ian? It's been a while. Okay, so I'm going to bring these dots up and I'm going to bring these dots down. Now, it's the wrong direction. So let's go, that's kind of weird. I would think it would be the other way, but we'll move this up here, down here, and down here. There we go. That's looking better. Okay. Or I could twist it, you know, I could use that twist and twist it. Either way. Okay, now I need a tighter turn up here. And I can either have it sharp like this, which it's not sharp, or I can add another dot and make it a tighter turn like this. There you go. I can also adjust the profile here on this in the screen if this show in viewport button is turned on. You have to have that turned on. Okay. So the power with this is just like that radial option. You can put a different profile on the other end. So if I click this one, you can see it goes from a rectangle to a square. And if I go to this profile, I can actually make it round if I want to. So now it goes from a rectangle to a circle. Pretty crazy. Hey, cool whip. How's it going? Just look at OBS as your controller. Sweet. You know, I'll have to talk to you about that. That would be sweet. Okay. So I'm going to turn this back to just a single profile because I don't need it, but I wanted to show you that that was an available option. So now we can turn solo back off, and we got our handles like this, and we can just kind of go adjust these a little bit. I want to get them closer like this and make the handle more like this. And let's say that that handle's a little too thick for my taste, so we can go back into the profile, make it even narrower. Like this. Looks better. Now maybe not as wide. Bring that in. You can turn off snapping too if you want. Which one, Neil? I'm only moving forward. I'm probably just going to stream to one of the channels. I'm not sure yet which one, but okay. Probably 3D Character Workshop. We'll see. Okay, this looks like he's got headphones on now. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of how the tube tool works. It's pretty sweet. Got 36 watching on the 3D Character Workshop channel, 11 on just the Shane Olsen channel. I wish I could see how many on LinkedIn. That'd be sweet. It looks like this when I look at how many people are on watching. This is from Restream. Okay. Let's see here. Let's make this flower. Hey Signor. Welcome. Yeah, streaming again. Okay. So I'm gonna grab the gizmo now and kind of move it back into place. It's gonna be back here somewhere. I'll just leave it. Okay. So eventually we'll finish out that radio, but for now, let's make the pot, this flower in this pot right here. So just like before, I'm going to snap it to the front, and then I'm going to lock it down. And then I'm going to select the lathe tool. We're going to make the flower pot first. Okay. And I'm going to make it down here with a path. Which, that's weird that it's kind of offset. Can you see the orange line here? Let me see. I don't know if I can move that or not. It looks like it's parented to something above it, so I'm going to make sure I'm not. It's parented underneath the hat and see if that changes anything. Nope. Okay. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know. Let's see. If I select. Trying to figure out how I get to the center of the lathe and move it. Fixed. Oh, I see. Okay, screen. I'll have to figure that out. Okay. Yeah, Neil. Okay, so anyway, you can see this orange line. That's where it's going to be lathe. That's the center point. I don't know why it's not on 0, 0. I'll have to figure that out. But let me do the bottom. Let's make all these sharp. Okay, the bottom of the flower pot here. And then it's just going to go down to here. Come in, go down like this. And then I'll hit the green dot. You got this weird shaped flower pot. Okay. Let's fix it. So I'm going to make it wider. Actually, let me lock it down again. Let's do it from this direction. I'm going to turn snapping off. If you want to get rid of one of these dots, all you got to do is drag it towards its neighbor. It'll turn red, let go, and it will dissolve into itself. Okay. It's a little too sharp there. Maybe still. Okay, something like that, maybe. It's really easy to do. I'm just going to validate it. And then, let me know if you have any questions about any of this stuff. There's what the wireframe looks like. And it doesn't have face groups. This has like not very good face groups. So what I want to do is group by normal. Okay. Now that we have that, I don't know why there's an extra face group in there. Hey, what's up, Steven? How you doing? Thank you, thank you. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Okay. So I think this is like, I don't know what that is. We're going to remesh it and see. So I'm going to go to quad remesher. And again, make sure relax is turned off. Face group's turned on. Let's do a 50% reduction. Oh goodness. We got symmetry turned on. We're going to turn symmetry off. I'm going to place this in the center of the world. So I'm just going to go 0 these out. Come on. Come on. There we go. 0 and 0. Now I know it's in the middle of the world here. And then let's try quad remeshing it again with symmetry turned off. Reduce it. Yeah, it still has this weirdness down here. Same for all software. Yeah, it's really, it makes extra geometry down there. So it's really tricky to fix in Nomad because there's not like a separate geometry, you know? I can't say separate this from that. So what I need to do is I need to use mask, and then I'm going to turn, let's see. That's only selecting the face groups. That's okay. There's another way to do it, but whoops. Okay, so that basically is leaving that little bit unmasked. Everything else is masked. So what I can do now is I can use extract, and extract is kind of hidden inside the shield icon up here, this little options icon. And what I want to do is I want to use this split down here. And you see this closing action none and closing action none. And I need to make sure that this thickness height is set to 0. I'm actually going to turn the smoothness off as well, because I want to smooth it out either. And then I just hit split. And what that does is that's how you split two objects away from each other. So if I go into here, I now have this lathe extract in this little piece right here. So this little piece right there. Okay. And I want to get rid of this little piece. I don't need it. Now this is kind of a garbled mess. So I'm going to select, whoops, smooth, and I just want to kind of smooth this out. And hopefully I can smooth it into oblivion. That's some really weird stuff going on. Oops. And see if I can quad remesh it at 100 and see if I can smooth that out. There we go. It's getting closer. Let's do it one more time. Quad remesh at 100%. There we go. Fixed it. Okay. Let's look at the rest. We'll solo it. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not perfect down in there, but it's pretty good. So I can turn on symmetry now because it's on 0, 0, like it's zeroed out in the world. So I kind of want to just see what happens if I reduce it. That's much better. Okay. There, that's how you do it, kids. Okay. Yeah, typically, Signor, typically the Nomad does an okay job with it. Only occasionally will it create that extra little bit, but usually it's pretty good. Okay, now that I have this low, I'm going to do exactly what I did with the bottle that I made, which is I'm going to go to my multi-res, and then I'm going to click on sharp border because I want the edges to be sharp but beveled. Okay, so I'm going to subdivide it once. I'm going to see what happens if I turn off sharp border and subdivide it again. Yeah, this is softer. I kind of want it softer than the bottle, so I'll subdivide it a couple times. And let's turn off wireframe so you can see it. Let's turn off face groups so you can see it. That's what it looks like. Soft beveled edge, really clean. Looks nice. Okay, so now let's go to the paint, and I'm going to grab this material right there, that orange color. And then we're going to turn up the roughness a little bit. This is going to give us a preview what the material is going to look like when we put it on there. And then we'll hit paint all, and there's our little flower pot. This time the offset for the center line messed it up. Yeah, totally. I need to figure out how to reset the center lathe line to the world. You know, that's the biggest thing. Now, a lot of people are like, how do you make those leaves? There's several different ways. You could use the tube tool actually to make those leaves if you wanted. But what I like to do, the mask extract inside of ZBrush is really good. ZBrush, Nomad. Man, I'm going to be tripping up my words all the time. I'm used to using ZBrush so much. Okay, the mask extract in Nomad is really good. So, because it has the smoothing algorithm that works really well. You can voxel remesh it when you're done. There's a whole bunch of really cool functions that you can use. And you can see this pot is gigantic. So let's grab the gizmo and scale it on down and put it where it should be, kind of. So it's kind of in the back here. Kind of turn a little bit, scale it down even more. These, it's funny, the pot and this little bottle are kind of the same color. And then I'm just going to hide that handle. Just get it out of the way for a minute so we don't have to be distracted by it. Okay. And kind of turn it back like this and back like this, and sitting on a shell. It's going to be just like laying there. Okay. So now that we have our pot, our flower pot in place, let's make the little tube. So let's grab the little tube tool, and since I have that pot selected, it's going to make it a child of the pot. And then if I turn on this material, I can, let's see, click this little check box. It should turn it on. Oh, that's stroke painting. Hold on a second. I think if you click and hold it, I dropped this color. I'm going to grab that green. Okay. So eventually I'm going to make that flower stem green, but I'm going to use the path tool. I'm going to draw it out from the center there. And what's interesting about the tube tool is it's screen space until you validate it, meaning it's going to stick to wherever it is until you say go. Okay. So I'm going to hit this green button. And now it's stuck to where it needs to be. Okay. So I'm going to bring this in here. And then I can shrink it down to the size it needs to be. Like leaning forward. And then I'm going to click on this radius button because I want it to kind of go from thin to thick like this. You can kind of see it. It's drawn that way. And it adds some interest. I got to be careful if I want to 3D print this. Be careful with that. But now I can just grab this and hit paint all, and now it's green. Okay. Now, to make these leaves, how do you do that? How I do it, there's a couple different ways, but I can use this insert and click sphere over here on the left, and then I'm just going to insert this sphere. And this is going to be the temporary shape. I'm going to hit validate. This is going to be the temporary shape that I'm going to draw the leaf on. So I'm going to move it where one of the leaves are and squish it down because it's the radius of it's too shallow. Okay. Turn it a bit. Kind of make it touch that stem. Okay. So now that I kind of have this temporary shape in place, make it a little longer if we want to. You could even use, see how it's got that pretty quick curve on the back where it's next to the stem? The sphere kind of already has that, has kind of this quick curve going down, and I'm just going to use that. Okay, but this resolution, if I turn the wireframe on, it's a little too low. Well, here, that's showing the lowest level of subdivision. If I want to turn that off, there's this checkbox, and this, again, this is in beta right now. It's coming soon. But see where it says multi-resolution level 0 only? I'm going to turn that off, and now you can see all of the resolution here. And I'm going to subdivide it a couple more times just to get even more resolution. And then we're going to use the mask brush. And I'm going to solo this so we can see it better. Turn off wireframe. Okay, I'm not sure why it's showing the face groups. And then this is the brush size right here on the left. And then this is your intensity. Okay, so full intensity. And then I can take this brush and just kind of draw. What's going on here? Turn off symmetry. I don't know why it's not masking it off. Hold on a second. I need to save this just to make sure it's not gonna crap out on me. If you have a model with different materials, how do you see which material you use for those parts? I could not figure it out. You can eyedrop off the material. So now that I've saved this, I'll show you. Oh, thank you, Matt. Unmask. I accidentally hit this button right here, and I was drawing no mask on there. Thank you. There we go. All right, Matt to the rescue. Awesome. Thanks. Okay, so I've saved this. I'll open up something else that I've made in Nomad. This one has a lot of materials on it. So let's go to, yeah, this I made 100% inside of Nomad, this girl here. But so see how it's got this translucent, transparent material, whatever you want to call it. If I go to the paintbrush, I can click. I've set this up to use the eyedropper with my finger instead of the Apple Pencil. And if I just click and drag and let go, see how it has that little tiny dot above my finger? I let go and it will suck up that material. But since I don't have the opacity channel turned on, it didn't grab that. So now I'm gonna activate that opacity channel, do it again. Now it should, nope, that's a bug. Okay, it didn't grab the opacity. I need to pass that on. Can I follow your courses with only Nomad and 3D? No. So my courses I teach in ZBrush, but you can follow along with whatever you want. You can, I have students that follow along in Blender, Nomad, it doesn't matter. Just the art skills matter. You could do it in 3D Coat. I wouldn't recommend it because the sculpting in 3D Coat is a little subpar. You could do it if you really know how to sculpt in there, but I wouldn't recommend that. Okay. I use 3D Coat for retopology, UVs, and hand-painted textures. Yeah, it's really, really good for that. And yeah, those three things. Okay. Yeah, see, I can eyedrop these colors, materials, so it'll grab the metallic right there. See it, like, it's grabbing everything except for the translucency, transparency, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Did you make it refractive with the opacity and the material? No, there's a material. So there's a material channel up in here, and I switched it to additive right there. And then I mess with the opacity and the reflectance right there. And that's where you can, and there's also a refraction. If you want to get better refraction, you can use that. Like if you have a glass cup or something and you have a spoon in it and you want the spoon to be refracted, you can use that. So yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Yeah, there's some other characters I've made in here. This is one. And this has like subsurface scattering happening. And this has like reflection in the eyeballs going on right there. Here, let me switch it to smooth shade. Yeah, this one was a lot of fun. 100% Nomad, this thing. It's got some reflection on the floor. I brought, here's another one. This one has transparency on the glasses. You can see that right there. And this one has outlining the objects. How'd you give the piece on the hand some illumination? It's just with, I think Dave Reed has some videos on how to do it, how to make things glow. He does it really well. But basically you use bloom and I'm trying to remember, like you turn off, what is it called? You turn on this always unlit right there. And then you can make it glow. Okay. And I brought in some models from ZBrush over to here to render just for fun, like this snail. Yeah, this is one I made in ZBrush. But this has a backdrop, like a infinity backdrop like this, just so I could get the shadows on the ground. But you can see it's being rendered in real time. So the shadows are hard, like hard edged until I let go. And then they kind of fuzz out like that. And my ruler file works in here. So this ruler file you can download from my website, which is 3D Character Workshop, and then just import it into here if you want to. But it matches the grid, which is sweet. So if we look at it from the front, see all these lines, they perfectly match up with the ruler, because each one is a centimeter. So if you're doing 3D printing or something like that, you can use this ruler to help you. There's also a ruler in here. So see this measure right here? So I can click down here and I can measure. See, that's 200 millimeters tall. So you can measure like your thicknesses of your model to make sure you're not going too thin. You know, so if you're printing in resin, making sure you're not going too thin where it's not going to print. Josh, are you still here? This is one of my students' models right here. And I think Ian, are you still here? These are both of my students. This is Ian's model. I wanted to bring over here just to check it out. This is one of his, because I wanted to test out the metal and stuff on the arms and the little, yeah. So the Alone Game Mastery goes by, his name's Ian, and this is his model. So, and then there's also a turntable. Hey, what's up, Jazzy? I'll pull yours up in one sec. You can go to a turntable right here. If you click on this Nomad icon up in the corner, click on turntable. You can just click that and it'll slowly rotate. You can kind of turn it like this. It'll rotate around your model. Now, if you have post-processing on with some global illumination or ambient occlusion, it's going to kind of go grainy while it's doing the turntable, because it can't process fast enough. So if you're going to do a turntable, you want to turn that off. Do you have your tools available for Nomad? No, because they're honestly not necessary. Everything here is basically what I use in ZBrush. So I don't really need to bring anything over. The only thing I'm kind of missing is a carve brush. It kind of works like, what is that carve brush based off of? Orb cracks, you know, the orb crack brush. But you can make something like it. So if I click on this regular brush right here, and I go to the brush settings, you can change the fall off, the profile of the fall off, to be like the carve brush right here. You can just change it, and like if you want something like AccuCurve, you can change it to this profile. If you want like a layer brush, you change it to that profile. So there's a whole bunch of really cool pre-built-in things. My IMM, you don't really need it, because it's the insert brush is right here, and then it has all these shapes over here. So the only one you don't get is the appendage brush, you know, the stretched out sphere. But you don't really need it. You can just stretch out a sphere, and then all of these objects are quad based for the most part, so you don't have to worry about it too much. So I don't miss it being in here. Yeah. Okay, let's see. And then here's Jazzy's. This awesome model. We can do a spin, but see how it kind of goes grainy? Like if you look on his horns there, it's all grainy. Hey Howie, welcome. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. So if I do a turntable, you can see, but see, it keeps the grain when you're doing the turntable. Yeah, Josh did a fantastic job on this guy. See, you can do, like there's a couple lights in here. So you can add HDR image plus lights. So it has, if you look at these lights, there's a blue light off from the left and a orange light off to the right, as well as HDR. Hey, Mr. Digital Works, how's it going? Yeah, it kind of looks Infinity-ish. Super cool. Very good pose. Okay. Let's get back to what time we got. 15. All right. This is one of the first models I made in here. Just trying stuff out. This is this frog with his leg hanging off the back and his butt. Yeah, Josh, thanks. Thanks for sharing. I just really like the render. Like, he's got shiny eyes and shiny skin, and you know, the log is not shiny, that kind of stuff. Just fun, and being able to sculpt with it looking like this is really fun. This is one I did 100% in here. And you can also pose asymmetrically and keep the symmetry. Like, I'll have to demo that sometime, but it's really cool. And then you can put gradients on the backgrounds really easily. You can do that in ZBrush too, but it's a little, it's quite easy in here. You can see this image up here. And I just need to reiterate, I'm not here to like compare Nomad to ZBrush. It's just whatever you want to use. I really love ZBrush, and I'm not saying this is better. I'm just saying this is kind of what I've been using most recently. So if you go to this little image right here, you have these options. You have environment. If I turn the environment on, it's going to actually use the HDR to wrap around it in the background. And you can turn down the blur so you can actually see the image back there. Or you can just use a single color like this, or you can use a gradient. So with the gradient, there's two colors, and you can kind of adjust where the blur happens. And so I could come in here, and there's a couple different color picking options. So I can go to this ring, and I can make it like a pink, or like a blue, light blue, or a black. You know, there's all different options. Whatever you want to do. Red, green to blue. There you go. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. And then you can do vertex painting, which is this. These are hand painted shadows underneath here, and like those streaks underneath her eyes, that's hand painted. You can use, and her eyeballs are hand painted, and they have like a shinier little bit on the top of them. But this is, I've been making all this stuff, just like the title says. I've been making all this stuff for 3D printing. So you can see like underneath her dress, it's all kind of capped off, so you can 3D print it really easily. There's no cavities or anything like that. I haven't keyed this one yet, but I did key and print the other one. This is Nomad Sculpt Uncut, yeah. And then the layering system is also really nice too. And I want to check the glow, the bloom in here. This is one of my characters from Disney Infinity, but this one I cranked the bloom up so it's glowing. And then I also put a light back here to make it look like the sabers are making light on the back of her. But look at how good the transparency is in this base. It's really nice. Yeah. Let me turn on smooth shading. I want to turn off the post-processing for the curvature. There we go. Yeah. Anyway, I 3D printed this, the one I showed you in the beginning. This is one of my anatomy models that I brought in here to try out. It's really fun to turn on like face groups and see it in colors. It's pretty cool. Like George, I don't know if George is still around. George Zaki, he loves to make anatomy blockouts like this, and he's been using Nomad quite a bit. K9, yeah, I have. Yep. And that's why this is kind of set up this way, is because it's this way. It's vertical because I'm working vertically. This is wireless. There's no wire attached here. It's just and I have it inset into this Sketchboard Pro. That's how I'm using it. So no need to buy like a fancy Cintiq or some monitor like a Huion or anything like that. It's just an iPad. So like the biggest expense to use Nomad is an iPad right now. But I guess it's coming to desktop pretty soon. So, so that's cool. All right, let's get back to our turtle guy. Turtle, turtle, turtle. Okay, we were talking about this the leaves, and I got off on some other tangent. Okay, so let's solo this. Turn on masking, make sure unmask is turned off. There we go. And we're just going to mask off a shape of a leaf. Which iPad? I have the M4, the M4 Pro, whatever that is. But I used to have an iPad that was an older version before the M chips, and it worked pretty well too. The faster iPads just allow you to do more geometry. So there's our leaf shape. Maybe I want to make it kind of wider at the base like that one. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so now that we have this, we can go to our masking options. And then, well, there's a couple things we can do. If you want, you can convert a mask to a face group like this, and it will just turn that to a different color. But that's not really what I want to do. I want to extract it. So we're going to go to this masking option menu. And then if I turn this to the side, you can, and adjust the height, you can see it. See how it's kind of getting offset, but that's not quite what I want to do. I want to add it. I want to add a shell. So I'm going to click on the shell button down underneath extract, click on shell. Now when I adjust height, you can see how tall it's going to be. So I want it about there, but you can see the jaggy. See how it's really jaggy? So what I can do is click on this smoothness right here, and I can crank up that smoothness, and it will smooth out those jaggies. Got the new iPad for ZBrush. Yeah, I find myself using Nomad a little more too, but I'll go back and forth. I'll use them both. Okay, so now that I have that preview the way I want it, now I can hit extract and it'll give me this leaf. But it's really sharp on the borders. So now I'm done with this temporary sphere. I can delete it. So I'm going to delete this. Okay, so now I just have the leaf. And if we do the wireframe, we can see that it's pretty dense, right? So let's go to our quad remesher, and we'll do 50% reduction. And I want to keep reducing it like a bunch. Even more. There we go. Okay, so that's really low now. I could even go more. That's really low. Okay, so now what I can do is also I make sure you turn relax off when you're doing quad remesher. Okay, don't forget you can flood fill now with the mask. No need to waste precious seconds. Yeah, true. Okay, so with smooth, I'm going to turn my intensity way down. I just kind of smooth it out a little bit more. And then I'm going to subdivide it. So subdivide, subdivide. And then we can smooth it out a little more. Let's crank up the intensity now. What's interesting about Nomad is you can crank the intensity up past 100%. So you can crank it up to 11. So you can see that the intensity, it can go up to 100%. Okay. But if you click it again and push up, it'll go past 100%. And then it's really powerful. So you can get really heavy smooths. New to ZBrush, but I'm stuck at the Z remesher part. I divided my character into polygroups, then merged it using remesh by union. However, I guess you must have hit enter. We got some pretty good turnout. We got 45 people watching on my Character Workshop channel, 10 on my other channel, and that's it. I don't know if anybody's watching this from LinkedIn. Say hello. I can't see if anybody's watching over there. I'm having issues with polygon density when I use the adapt in half to reduce the polygon count. My character's hands get distorted, stretched. Yeah, that's kind of the nature of ZRemesher. It's an automatically generated remeshing option, right? So it's not, I always say it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get because it's just kind of all over the place. And the best way to do it is to retopologize it by hand. But you can get it to sort of behave when you're doing hands. Hands are the most difficult to get ZRemesher to behave with. Like this is a simple leaf and it still is not perfect. Like there's a weird pole like right there. But since this is for 3D printing, I don't really care too much. I just want it to look nice and clean. So the best way to do it is to start out with high resolution and work your way to a lower resolution. Like get the high resolution of the remesh looking good first, and then half it as you go down, and then you'll get a better result. Okay, so let's turn solo off and see where this leaf is. And with this gizmo, what we can do, if we want to put the gizmo on the end, we can unlock it. See, there's a lock right here. We can unlock it. And then see where it says on tap normal? So if I tap on the surface, it's going to align it to the surface normal. So if I touch down here, you can see it automatically move the gizmo and just put it on the normal. And I can also rotate it too if I want to, and then lock it again. Now it's locked in place. I can move it wherever I want to. I can attach it more to this, into this stem here. One thing I do wish Nomad had was some sort of free form to form modifier, and it does not. So instead I kind of have to use modified move brushes and stuff to get it to bend. Like I want a little bit more of a bend in this brush or in this leaf. So if I go to move, there's an option. So there's what am I trying to say? There's a like move infinite brush that ZBrush has. And if you want to get that here, you have to go into the options. Well, let's see, where is it at? Stroke. And then turn on, it's called silhouette. So if I click on silhouette, I need to go on view. So closest will look at the normal surface, and then it'll move all the way through the mesh from that surface. And sometimes that works, and I don't have to worry about the camera if I do it that way, like this. See how it's kind of squishy? I can kind of reduce the size of this brush, and I don't have to line up the camera in order to make it work like that. But if I want it to work like move infinite, I need to select view right here, view. So that way I have to turn the camera to the direction I want it to be in, and then use it, and it'll shoot all the way through that model and affect both sides. And that way I can sort of, let me turn the intensity down. That way I can sort of bend it the way I want it to bend, like that. We'll turn the gizmo and just kind of down, and then you want to turn that off. You don't want to have it on. Let's go back to not painting, back to move. Okay. Turn silhouette off. Now I can use smooth and just kind of smooth it down. I can also go down in multi-resolution and it'll smooth quicker. It's a little kind of wonky. Whoops. And this smooth is a toggle. So I can either tap it and it stays on, or I can click and hold it and it stays on, and then when I let go, it'll let go. Oh yeah, Matt, I forgot about that. Yeah, so that's something brand new. Is this again? This is you're looking at the beta version of Nomad, things to come, and um, one thing to come on its way is the barrel roll of the pen, like the twist, like this. And what you can do is you can. So I have move selected. Should probably turn silhouette on. But as I move it, look at this. I can barrel roll. How crazy is that? Yeah, that's like VR stuff. Because that's what I loved about VR so much when I was playing with VR is you had two controllers, one in each hand, and you could twist them away from each other. So with this, you get kind of half of that, right? You get to twist it while you're pulling it, which is wild. So you can kind of twist it, pull it, move it, pop it. Come on. Yeah, and now I want to turn or go down in subdivision level and delete the higher because I kind of add some warbles in here. I'm going to smooth this out somewhat. Okay. Then I can eyedrop a color. Like if I grab the paintbrush, I can click and hold on the stem and grab the color from that and then just say paint all. Hey Matt, did you see the bug I found with the eyedropping the transparency? I need to tell Stefan about that. Like you can't eyedrop opacity, apparently. Subdivide this. Okay, now if I want to put the center down the leaf, I can grab this crease, turn this intensity down, solo it. Then I'm just going to try and draw a crease down there like that. Pretty clean, and it'll go through both sides. You can turn that off. There's an option under here. There's backface masking. I'm trying to remember where it's at. Stroke spacing. I think it's under alpha. No. Right there, depth masking at the bottom of filter. So if you turn this on, you can make it not affect the back of it. I think that's right, Matt? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's some pressure options, some filter options. This connected topology, that's like turning on the topology button in ZBrush. You know, when I had that topology big button on the bottom of my user interface, it's kind of buried inside of Nomad. I wish it was out front, but it is there. Oh, here's front facing right there. So this is back face mask right there. The depth mask is different. That's like for brushes like flatten, and you want to flatten something, you can pull the bottom area up like this, so you can basically flatten it. So it's not, so the brush is not a sphere. But yeah, this is front facing vertex. That's what you want for back face masking. So it's there. It's just a little cumbersome to get to is all. I don't use it enough to have it out on the interface, but I do wish the topological masking was out there. Okay. That is it. That's how you make a leaf. And then you can grab it and duplicate it around. How you do that is just grab the gizmo, and you'll see a clone or instance right there. Clone will just duplicate it. And it'll make it a separate object, but instance will make it a copy of that object that still has a relationship. More of a Nomad guy? I go back and forth all the time. So, but I have been enjoying Nomad a lot. In my mind, it's like, it's not a competition. We get both, right? I have both on here. Hello from Las Vegas. Hello, welcome. Is anybody watching this on my LinkedIn channel? I'm just curious. Okay, so if I do instance, see if I click that, and it's not going to make it until I move it. So if I grab this little thing and I move it, that's when it makes the instance. And so if I move this leaf around like this, maybe I can scale it a little bit. But what it means when it's an instance is, these look like little tongues, is if I grab the move brush now, come on, and I move one, it will move the other one. See, because it's an instance of the other one. You can try and test it. Wilberth, I think Neil went over there and he was able to see it. I know it's working. I was just wondering if it's not showing me that anybody's watching from over there. So I'm just curious I just wonder if anyone is, you know, or if it's just a waste of a stream. I'm just curious. Okay, so now I can just take this leaf and do it again, instance, move it. I'm going to turn it a little bit. And this middle yellow circle, that's what moves it around. Yeah, something like that. I'll adjust them better later. Okay. Anyway, that's kind of how you'd make it. I need to move all these leaves down. And you can do multiple selection using, there's this select right here. And you can just kind of drag across more than one object. Like this. Select them all. I'm still trying to figure out the selection and how. Oh, 2 or 3? Okay, Neil, thanks. I keep getting these LinkedIn notifications, like, so I think people are seeing it and wanting to connect so they can watch it or something. I don't know. I'm not sure how it works. Anyway, I have those 3 selected now. I can grab the gizmo and move them all together. So closer to the base here. That's better. And I see a few comments from the chat too. Yeah, some LinkedIn comments show up here in the chat. It's mostly YouTube, but this is what it looks like for me. I've had a few from my Facebook profile, a couple from LinkedIn. I can also stream to like TikTok and Instagram, but Instagram, I think you're limited to an hour. And TikTok, you're limited to like vertical. You have to stream vertically. So I think that's kind of weird. I don't know how well it works. Okay, and what's cool about this tube is it's editable still, so I can move it around. I haven't validated it. You can mess with the thickness of it too. Awesome. Okay, I think I'm going to end the stream a little early. This is, I wasn't planning on streaming a full 2 hours, but hey, since everybody's here and it's going, figured I could keep going with it. But I want to tweak some things. Like, I guess my voice doesn't match my lips. A little off. And then Twitch is not working. I'd really like to get Twitch working. But again, I like to stream the same time I've always been streaming, Mondays at noon, Mountain Time, I guess. Is that 11 Pacific Time? And on these channels. So if you want to subscribe so you can be notified, you can do that. And I'm probably going to only stream to the 3D Character Workshop channel, not my namesake channel. So if you want to go head over to 3D Character Workshop on YouTube and subscribe there, not this one. or not my namesake one, then you'll be notified. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I'm looking forward to doing more of these streams again. It's a lot of fun, so thanks for hanging out. I need to work on lip syncing. Exactly. In my OBS, I guess I need to delay it so it matches my mouth. I can't really I can do the puppet thing if I want to stream with my little puppet guy, but I can't do with the overlay of the hand because it's on my iPad, not my desktop. Because that overlay lives behind ZBrush when I'm sculpting with that. And so I can't really do it on an iPad. Okay, let's go back to do this. Insert. I don't know if I can insert here. No, whoops. Okay, I can't have a tube selected and insert a sphere with that. That'd be on something else. Sorry, Matt. Thanks for your help, man. I appreciate it. Turbo Topology, I'm doing good, but I'm just unfortunately, I'm just ending my stream soon. But like I said, subscribe. I'll be live again next Monday. You guys want to come hang out again? I should be here. All right, guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. And I do offer up a course. It's called the 3D Character Workshop. If you go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com, you can find out more about it. And I do a mentorship. I've been running a mentorship for about a year, a little over a year. And of course, it's more expensive than the regular course. It depends on where you're at in your artistic journey. But if you want some mentoring, then I'm happy to help you. You can reach out to me through the contact section on the 3D Character Workshop homepage. I read all those emails. If you want to send me an email asking about the mentorship, it lasts a year and I give you feedback every single week. So if you're interested in that, let me know. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Take care, and we'll catch you all again next weekend, or next Monday, actually. All right. Take care. Have a good week. We'll see ya.